Okay, everyone. So in the last lesson, we did talk about the different string functions built in, which is going to be, again, predefined. It's something that we don't have to start from scratch, but instead we just maximize the use of these functions for us to be able to accomplish a certain logic in our application. So in this next lesson, let's talk about the array function. And I just want to go through some of them. So at least, especially some that are commonly used. There are a lot, and we won't be able to go through all of them, but let's just look into some examples here so that we will be able to have an idea on how to utilize these array functions. So now let's start to work with some built-in array functions. And you did see this in previous lessons that we had. Let's say, for example, we have people here, we declare a variable, and we use this array method from where we have some names, Rod, Seed, and let's say Bart. And if I wanted to echo count, this is another method that is usually used with the array functions. And we do get that value of 3. So we have 3 items in our, or elements in our array. So let's say, and that's the normal counting. Let's just say that's going to add 4. However, if we wanted to access those array elements, of course, we will need to go and echo out and using the array accessory operator, just to give you an idea here. So this is the normal counting, and if you will see, we are getting here some, and that's why we call this the array member accessory operator. As you can see in this example, we are able to print out the names of the array elements which are based on strings or a string data type. And if I put here 25 and we add this and we just put that 4, we should be, now if I try to refresh this should be giving us that 25 data type of number or integer. And you would see I'm able to change that number. So when you use the count method, you're counting normally, counting the elements of an array in a normal counting. Let me just delete that. However, when you're using the array member accessory operators, we will be counting based on 0 index. If you want to access each of those elements, we need to refer to them by 0 index or index base. Counting by index based, starting from 0. Okay, so you would see we are able to access Rod 1. And what happens if we say we switch that? What are we going to see here? So you would see 0 is Rod, 2 is 1 and 2, and we don't have 0. And let's switch this to 1 just to give you an idea there. So we do get 0 is referring to Rod, 2, 1, 2, we're referring to Bart, and 1 is referring to Sid, and 4 is referring to Tere. So just have that in mind. And I just wanted to show you this, but this is not a built-in array function. It's an operator that we normally use for us to reference the elements of an array. Let's just go copy this and let's just use the min method to showcase the, and we're expecting that we should be able to display that 100 value. So we do get that 100 value that we have printed out here, which is the lowest minimum value. And again, one thing to note here, you can actually just go Google search the following. So the max function, the min function manual, and you will see we can have some mixed values here. We can pass in an array, and I just did a quick Google search, max PHP. And this is a common thing, especially if you have some sort of thing that you want to accomplish. Does it exist on the language or on the programming language that you're learning. In our case, we're going to be checking out PHP. That's why I included here the max word and then the PHP word for us to be able to check out, is there a way for us to filter out the max value in an array of elements, in an element of an array. Same with what we did here. So just have that in mind. That's just one thing to take note of. And one last topic, or one last useful function that I just want to show you here, is the print dash or underscore r, which will be printing human readable information about a variable. So let's try to go and check that out. What will this be doing? And you would see this is the syntax. And let's say I would want to go and let's have another div here that I'm just going to say built in, with the built-in class. And let's have a PHP tag. And I just wanted to show you here another syntax. So I just wanted to also show you this syntax. This is actually a shorthand for this. However, you just need to do some changes on your system. So if you go here in the config, look for php.ini, that should open up this notepad, and we can try to search here short open tag. And if we try to search, we can try to turn this on. And let's see what will happen if we go and try to restart our server and open this up. And let's try to have an echo here. Test the short open tag. Set to open that up. We do see that that's currently working. Because if we did not have this turned on, you would see that this is not going to happen. And I've tried to, and I think we'll have to restart the server again. Once we make some changes and refresh, you'll see it's not working. So just have that in mind. Of course, it's better if you stick with the standard here, but I wanted you to know that there's that option for you to turn on that short open tag. And there's also a short way to echo. So instead of just using the echo here, you can actually, let's say, if you wanted to have a shorthand for the echo, we should be able to use the echo here the same way. And if I try to go and print out, you would see test the short open tag. So just have that in mind if you wanted to, at least you also know how to use that syntax. And let me just go back here and show you the print underscore r. And let's have that number list. This is definitely going to be something that you might commonly use when you're trying to do some troubleshooting. And you would see it's showing us a key value pairs of the index of the array, and we have the key and then the value or the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do see here 400, 355, 200, and those are all of the elements of the array that we have. So I think that's all for this lesson, and I hope you got some ideas here. Especially we now learned that there's an option for us to use the shorthand PHP tag. We just have to set it up in the config. We can also use the shorthand for an echo. This is going to give us more details about the array. And of course, we'll have to close that. You'll see this is going to give us more detail about the array. And we can, of course, have that there. And put that print down there. And we did see the print R also, and we also covered how to work with the index of an array using the array member accessory operator or the square bracket notation. And we also covered the array method here. We also work with one of the other functions or methods, count, here for us to be able to count the elements of an array in a normal counting. And if we are going to be counting by index based, we can use the zero index based counting if we're using this, if we wanted to access the different elements of the array. So that's it for this lesson. Thank you, and see you on our next lesson. Take care.